The mortal lands are divided. A dozen kingdoms lie scattered across Pangaea, separated by dangerous wilds filled with bandits and monsters. The bravest mortals act as adventurers, guiding travelers between the kingdoms, killing monsters to thin their numbers, and plundering ruins in search of the lost treasures of the Golden Age. This is the world of Odysseys and Overlords. Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition brought this setting to the popular Savage Worlds Adventure Edition by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Now we are expanding the Odysseys and Overlords setting by introducing you to Bizarre Kingdoms. Bizarre Kingdoms is a setting expansion for Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition, though the lands and creatures introduced herein could easily be adapted to any Savage Worlds fantasy setting. In this book, you'll find 4 new kingdoms your adventurers can explore or even hail from. Bizarre Kingdoms provides not only setting information, but new rules, systems, creatures, and items drawn from these strange and distant lands. With this book, you can take your adventures beyond the continent of Pangaea and fully explore the world of Odysseys and Overlords. The book is written and laid out. We've got a beautiful cover by Dean Spencer, whose work continues to define the look of Odysseys and Overlords. We just need your help to get Bizarre Kingdoms out to as many people as possible. We feel that the best platform to do that is Kickstarter. To provide a smooth and easy fulfillment experience, books and add-ons for this Kickstarter will be fulfilled through DriveThruRPG. Aside from Bizarre Kingdoms, we are offering several add-ons you can pick up as a part of your pledge to support this Kickstarter. Backers will have an opportunity to pick up the Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition core book, several supplements, and additional POD and PDF materials for our other Savage Worlds game lines like Contagion Savage Adventures and Citizens Divided. If we successfully fund, we have a few stretch goals in mind which we'll share should we reach that point. This campaign could provide opportunities to further expand the setting if the funds are there. We hope you'll join us in our journey to bring this book to you and to the world. Bizarre Kingdoms is a supplement for Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition, using the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition rules and the Suede Fantasy Companion. Please consider lending your support in helping us make it happen for Bizarre Kingdoms by backing this Kickstarter. Hello everybody, welcome to twitch.tv/Plastic Age Plays. I am adjusting my audio because it's been a while since I've streamed over here for video games, so just allow me to make a tweak or two. But hi, good to see everybody. Just wanted to hop in here and have a bit of a launch party, I guess. Let's see. Sorry, I was having a technical kerfuffle. Yeah, we're getting ready to launch. Bizarre Kingdoms is coming to Kickstarter today at noon Central. So we've got just about, looks like 54 minutes or so till we hit that go live button. I'm excited to do so. I'm excited to share this expansion with you. It's got a ton of material that you can use for, obviously for your Odysseys and Overlords campaigns, but also for any Savage Worlds fantasy campaign. There's 4 new nations, there are creatures and new ancestries and items and all sorts of stuff to support those new nations. Lots of really cool work was done. We've got Rachel Savicki, Simon K, and J.M. DeFoggy were our authors. A lot of the art, I would say probably 90% of the art in this book is Dean Spencer art, and Dean Spencer has been the definitive artist of Odysseys and Overlords pretty much since 1st edition. Very excited to share the art that we've selected for the book during the campaign. So it's good times. Getting ready to get it off the ground. Here's hoping we are able to meet that base goal. We're trying to hit $3,000 by the 18th of July. If we hit that goal, we have a lot of stretch goals lined up. And I've done everything I can to set this campaign up so that it'll be real easy for people. If you've never played Odysseys and Overlords, if you've never encountered it before, we have a lot of affordable add-ons to get you onboarded for the setting. You can get the second edition book and those materials together. You can get all of the first edition materials, and second edition was written in such a way that it is backwards compatible with first edition in the sense that you can easily port anything from first edition over. You also have an opportunity to add other Savage Worlds products that Aegis Studios has produced through the years as add-ons as well. So we're really trying to cater to everybody with this Kickstarter, help get the word out about Bizarre Kingdoms. It's going to be a great time. But we have some time to kill before Bizarre Kingdoms officially kicks off. I do have, if you're joining us late throughout the stream, I do have the link to the Kickstarter pinned. Right now, it allows you to sign up when the Kickstarter goes live. Once it does go live, that link will take you directly to the Kickstarter. My cat, Zug Tamoy, is being very needy today. She is all over my desk. She wants all of my attention, and she's just going to have to cope with it because we're going to get ready to play some Chainmail Bikini. For those of you who don't know, Chainmail Bikini is an RPG Maker game that I've created. The motivation behind creating this game is that I love JRPGs and I hate spending 60 hours playing a game. So I decided I would make one that was casual, that allowed you to, beat the whole thing in 3 or 4 hours. It's currently up over on Steam right now. It's $1.99, not too bad for a few hours of amusement. I would love it if you would pick it up, and if you do so, please make sure that you rate and review. Speaking of rating and reviews, somebody went through and left 4 and 5 star ratings on a bunch of my Dungeon Masters Guild work. I would like to thank whoever the kind soul was that did that for your support. All right, I think I have run my mouth enough at the top here that we can dive into a playthrough of Chainmail Bikini. I will be watching the chat while we're playing, just so that way, if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I would love to answer those for you. And forgive me while I clean my glasses. All right, so we're going to go into a new game in Chainmail Bikini. Why not? There we go. One of the things that I tried to do when I was developing this game is make sure that I'm generating dialogue that is fun and interesting. To me, it's always cool to try to sneak in some jokes and whatnot, make it fun. So, as a chainmail bikini, you shouldn't have, and it's the least we could do, Red. We want you to be safe. And she says, no, I mean, you shouldn't have bought me a chainmail bikini. What's this supposed to protect me from? Obviously, the whole point of this game is it's poking fun at some of those tropes. Trauma due to edged or blunt weapons, mostly? Sure, just saying, can a girl get some plate mail? Hey, if you don't want it, I'll wear it, Niesa pops in with. And Red says, nah, it's fine. Besides, it would just interfere with your spells. Doesn't interfere with your spells, though. A little bit of magic user cattiness towards our hero, I think. And heroes can bend rules. That's what makes them heroes. That and all the heroics. Fine. Would you like to accept your chain kini? I recommend it. It's better than the cloth kini that she's wearing. So the first thing I like to do when I get a new item, anytime that I'm playing, is just go through and optimize. Just an easy way to make sure things are good. It looks like I'm getting a bit of an unstable connection notification from Twitch, and they're not great bitrate, so I'm gonna just go ahead and see if I can tweak the server that it's pulling from. Okay. Hopefully we're in pretty good shape here. If you notice any chat nonsense, or tech nonsense I should say, let me know in the chat. Alright, so now we've stepped into our inn. Obviously we have a lot of people here. We have our innkeep. Welcome to the Blood Rest Inn. Be sure to check the message board near the door for information about local happenings. Good call. Our rates are 100 gold for one night. Would you like to stay? Nah, we just slept. Why would we stay? Who are these lovely individuals? Blessings upon you in your journey. That's kind of you. It's a nun. Even the servants of gods need a place to rest and relax. That is fair. I think that is something that everyone deserves, regardless of who they serve. My companions and I are off to the mountains on a secret mission. We will head out as soon as we're rested. Good luck to you. It's, sometimes as you're writing these things, you're just kind of seeding in a little bit of dialogue here and there, but that actually makes me think maybe if I do an expansion of the game, I should do something down in the mountain range. We're just passing through. No time to look into local quests. These bounties are all yours. I think it would be good if you show up in the mountains and find these adventurers wounded or dead. That would be funny. A few more rounds and we'll be back on the road. Good luck, adventurers. I hope you don't get wounded or dead when Travis updates the game. Hey, it's signed. It says here, adventurers wanted. Report to the guild hall for working coins. Sounds like a plan. If you're playing this game and you do not take the chain key before you walk out of that room, there's a whole dialogue tree that happens over there at the door. That I think is pretty funny. Obviously, I have a somewhat juvenile sense of humor, as we have established throughout the course of this game and my entire streaming career. Can you spare 100 gold for a girl who is down on her luck? Let's say yes. Nope, sure can't. We're broke. Looks like I need to go complete some quests. So they mentioned a guild hall. I wonder if that's that funny building up there. I don't wonder anything. I've designed the game, I know, but let's go see what this little kid has to say. Several of the other children have gone missing. I'm looking for clues. Guild Gobby Gordon says there's a reward, but I just want them to get home safe. That's very kind of you, small adventure-y child that probably shouldn't be going adventuring. It is a dangerous hobby, dangerous occupation, one might say. We've run into an elderly woman who is out for a stroll, and she tells us that, oh, hello, I'm just out for a walk. Helps my nerves with the missing children. If I were a younger woman, I'd be looking to get to the bottom of it. That's awfully kind of you. In my younger days, I made quite a bit of coin from the guild hall's quests. You look to be adventurers. Perhaps you should go there. It's the building to the north. See, another thing that I've now seated in, totally just trying to write some dialogue. I could always do a prequel where we follow the elderly woman in her young adventuring days. Maybe it's a time loop and she was read the whole time. Welcome to the Guild Hall. I'm Guild Gobby Gordon. Are you interested in adventuring? Yes, we are. Excellent. We have several quests in need of attention. Okay, we've got our missing children quests. A couple of local kids have gone missing. Check the door for any evidence of them and report back here. Pays 5,000 gold. Not too bad. Let's see what other quests we've got. The Fire Cult. Take out the fire worshipping cultists to the west. Find their hideout and take out the High Priest. Report back here for a payment of 10,000 gold. Nice. Not bad. I just noticed a typo in my Twitch chat, not in the game. So let's see, what else have we got? The Minotaur. There's a ruin south of town built atop a labyrinth. Go kill the Minotaur, and anything else you find there pays 5,000 gold. Not too bad of a deal. And of course, we have the big city. Head to Oasis City to assist with investigating vampire attacks. Now, as the designer, I can go ahead and tell you there is an optimal order for those quests. You have some clues as to what that optimal order might be, based on what the quest pays, right? The short answer would be, or the short version of what I'm trying to say would be, don't go after the 10,000 gold quest first. It's a good recipe for getting yourself killed. And let's see if I fixed my Nightbot. I did. Look at that. Now we can move on peacefully. My embarrassment has been assuaged. So, while walking around, I'm going to go look into this quest here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Bizarre Kingdoms. Like I said at the top, we're getting ready to launch that Kickstarter. It's going to go live in about 40 minutes or so. I will happily answer questions in the chat if they're asked about Odysseys and Overlords or about Bizarre Kingdoms. Odysseys and Overlords, just to give you a little bit of history on it, began as a OSR game. Effectively, we used the basic fantasy engine, which is really good and I love, and I don't want anybody to think that I left that behind because I didn't enjoy it. I think it's really well done retro clone. We just, for a number of reasons, mostly the OGL debacle, decided to move things to Savage Worlds for 2nd edition. But yeah, it started out as an OSR game. I started streaming it routinely with my good friends over at Roll for Seduction, who I'm going to shout out in the chat. And as we were streaming it, we started to refine the rules. We started to really expand on what the game could do. We started to incorporate what I thought were some very neat design mechanics, like from other OGL games. Specifically, we dropped in some stuff from Pathfinder 2e that I thought was really cool. The action economy. It's the one thing about Pathfinder 2e I genuinely enjoy. And then, made some bespoke changes that we just thought were fun, things that came up throughout the course of our stream. New spells, new abilities, all these fun things. We got a tiara, that's Coyote. So we'd done all that work. We were ready to launch the Kickstarter, and then the OGL announcement came that Wizards was going to try to kill the OGL. So we switched to Savage Worlds. I already have a license for Savage Worlds. I publish multiple games in the Savage Worlds system. I have an urban fantasy game called Contagion Savage Adventures, which is, the premise is basically that the supernatural exists, gods, monsters, all that jazz. It's all real. It has been in the shadows for most of history, but in 2012, a series of events occurred in which the existence of the supernatural was dragged into the public view. And people in the world of Contagion, are very skeptical about it. Some are absolutely true believers, but others think it's a hoax, think that it's, conspiracy theories and space lasers. Basically, it's a commentary on the fact that people are really gullible and will believe ridiculous stuff. And in the face of, reality showing the opposite. So that's Contagion Savage Adventures. I have Citizens Divided, which is a post-war cyberpunk game that focuses on a world in which the 99% rose up and struck against their corporate overlords in a war that, while successful, did not do enough to even the scales, as it were, in terms of wealth inequality. So we're dealing in a cyberpunk world where the wealth gap is still a severe problem. There is still corporate espionage. There are still people who are trying to scrape by, make a living, find ways to pass the time and entertain themselves. It has all the trappings of the cyberpunk settings you love, and power armor. So it's a fun little game, and that's Citizens Divided. And then I've also just been doing some. I've a couple of like small like settings too, like the zombie mutant zombie mayhem, things like that. Toxic mutant zombie mayhem, that's what it's called. So those are like little one sheet settings basically you can pick up, and then a number of adventures that are sort of generic fantasy adventures that you can easily use with Odysseys and Overlords, but you can also use those with any other Savage Worlds setting. And the fun thing about that is all of those things are going to be available as inexpensive add-ons during our Kickstarter. So you can absolutely head over to DriveThruRPG whenever you like to pick up anything that Aegis Studios has published, and I would be greatly appreciative if you did. But you may save a little bit of loot if you wait for this Kickstarter, which will be launching in about 35 minutes, and get those as add-ons. All of the way the Kickstarter is broken out, once we roll out Bizarre Kingdoms, or once we start the Kickstarter, I should say, we'll be rolling out previews of Bizarre Kingdoms. There will be public previews every week, and then there will be a chapter of the book released to the backers each week. Once that's done, as soon as the Kickstarter is over, I will be collecting errata from backers throughout the process, and probably for a couple of weeks after the Kickstarter, though you will get your PDF basically immediately when the Kickstarter ends. As soon as the payments are processed, I'll start sending out your backer PDFs, but also all of your add-ons and stuff you'll get right away at that point. So it's a good way to get a lot of games in your hot little hands. But apart from all that, hey, who didn't turn their phone off before they went live? Like I've never done this before. So getting back to what Bizarre Kingdoms is actually about. In the world of Odysseys and Overlords, the majority of the action takes place on the continent of Pangaea, a few islands that surround it, and the seas nearby, but it doesn't really get into too much detail about the seas themselves, other than obviously they are there. And there's a little bit of hints at what might be lurking in them. With Bizarre Kingdoms, we introduce and expand on the two undersea kingdoms. They're discussed briefly in the Odysseys and Overworld, or in Overlord's second edition book. The Brianblood Empire is where Empress Tatooine rules over. It is the home to the Engenki. It is a violent, colonizing, oppressive force in the undersea, and their enemies are the Commonwealth of the Undercurrent, which is more of a magic enhanced representative democracy, I suppose. There's definitely some capitalism at work there, in their economic systems, but they are the home to the Ligonians, which is one of the playable ancestries in Odyssey of Overlord 2nd Edition. And so, while it's described a bit in the Commonwealth is described a bit in the Ligonian information in Odyssey of Overlord 2nd Edition, it's really expanded on, and we really get like a whole overview of that society, that culture, the types of things one might find in the Commonwealth. It's great if you want to set a campaign there, or even for players who want to play a Ligonian and they have they want to have some good backstory, good idea of like where their character is from. It's hugely invaluable in that way. And Simon K wrote the both of the Undersea Kingdoms. Did a really good job on it. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I can't wait to share them with you. We also have introduced in Odyssey of Overlord 2nd Edition are the idea of the doppelgangers. The doppelgangers in Odysseys and Overlords have very specific agendas and very specific things they are trying to accomplish. Their purposes, however, remain sort of shrouded in shadow throughout the course of the core book. It's kind of left to the GM to kind of suss out what might these people be after, you know. And in Bizarre Kingdoms, we get to really take a look at their society, which is called the Collective. The Collective is the name of the nation, but also the name of the island that the doppelgangers call home. There are several factions at play in the Collective, and what they want is often very different. And there's a very cool sort of driving element to their society behind the scenes, below the surface, that I think just gives so many possible plot seeds for game masters to pick up. Even if you're not playing a campaign that involves doppelgangers directly, like the plot seeds that are laid out in the Collective, I think will be useful for any campaign. There's just really a lot of very cool information in there. It also talks a little bit about like where the various factions of the changelings are active in the rest of the world, which is also a handy tool if you're planning on plotting out a campaign that takes place elsewhere. That section was written by Jam DeFoggy. It's so good. I was really blown away by the quality of Jam's work on that chapter. It's just phenomenal. We also have Quellen. Quellen was introduced in first edition amid the Gazetteers. When we initially released the setting, there was a continent in the south that we didn't really get into any details about, like what they were, what they did. We have expanded them since. When we did the Gazetteer, the World of the Sixth Cycle Gazetteer, which is another add-on you'll be able to grab with the Kickstarter. We fleshed out Quellen a bit, but we really focused on it from an outsider's viewpoint, right? Like, what's it like for characters in Pangea to visit Quellen, or what can they expect? What do they know? What lore has made its way to them? Whereas in Bizarre Kingdoms, Rachel Savicki, who did the writing for Quellen, really brought it into a interior view perspective, which was great. Added in all sorts of things that I just frankly hadn't considered, whether how to work in or what to do with. So I'm just overly pleased. I cannot say enough about how good that turned out and how happy I am with this book entirely. Just every bit of it. I can't wait to share it with you. I think there's a lot of stuff that you'll find a lot of utility for in your games. So thank you for the note to go to the guild hall. One of the things, just a little, I guess, design tip or whatnot, when you're making a JRPG game, it's nice to have, 5 or 6 different NPCs who will all tell you the same thing, because not every player is going to compulsively interact with every NPC. I try to. When I play JRPGs, that's one of my favorite things, is kind of like, oh, let's see what everybody says, which is why I tried to work in a little bit of humor into everybody's jam here. So right now we're going to pick up some armor. Obviously that chain kidney was a nice gift because it's worth a few bucks. We have a helm. That's pretty nice. Do we want... I think Dolph needs some help. So we're going to get Dolph a medium shield. We're going to grab a ring. And then we're going to optimize out Brandy and Dolph. And then, again, because I like to maximize my inventory, we're going to hop in here and we're going to sell out everything that we have removed so far and see if that gives us enough coin to pick up another ring, which it does. So we're gonna pop this ring +2, and that one is gonna go, nope, that's gonna go over to let's do Andres. He has a tendency to get knocked TF out, and he's a healer. So, and while we're here, let's pop in and save. So there's our new chainmail bikini save. Once again, I would like to remind you that chainmail bikini is on Steam. It is absolutely available for purchase. And if you do so, I would love for you to leave a rating and review. Let me know what you think of the game. Let others know what you think of the game, especially if what you think is nice. So now we have armored up a little bit, equipped things. Let's see if we have enough coin left over to give this poor girl some money. There we go. Have 100 gold. All right. So we have the big city. We have the Minotaur. Again, I kind of know like what direction is ideal for these. As a developer, but right now we're just kind of playing for fun and checking it out. So now we've come into the ruins to the south, and we've run into some sort of a ghostly creature that says, "Beware, the labyrinth is overrun with vicious monsters." And Andres, ever helpful, "You're a ghost, an undead, vicious monster." The ghost says, "That's a nasty, hurtful stereotype. My associates and I haunt these ruins peacefully." Then why are the townsfolk paying to have this place cleaned out? They're paying to have the labyrinth cleared out, The place I just said was filled with vicious monsters. See, like I said, our ghosts, our NPCs, they have a little bit of sass to them, a little bit of fun. Fine, we'll head down to the labyrinth. And we ask this dude, don't ask me, I just work here. I am probably overly in love with my own shit, but that's okay. What do we have here? Dagon's Drafts. A great deal on health potions. That is a pretty good deal on health potions, but not today. Thank you, coming in. So we're going to kind of wander along. One thing I do want to mention while we're focused on the chainmail bikini side of things. The music here is by Alexander Nakarada. Alex has a Patreon where you can get access to their music royalty free. It's amazing. I love it. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for music for anything, check out Alex Nakarada on Patreon. Forgive my pacing. I can't relax with all these hooligans and ne'er-do-wells in the labyrinth below. That's strong language, sir. I wish someone would clear them out. I hear the guild hall is offering a bounty on the Minotaur. At least that's what the last adventurers I saw here told me. They went down into the labyrinth. Never came back out, though. That's ominous. Thanks for the ominousness. What do we have here? You spare 100 gold for a girl who's down on her luck. There's a lot of girls down on their luck in this area. We need to do something about that. What do we have here? Oh, hello, I'm just out for a walk. Helps the nerves with the Minotaur below. If I were still breathing, I'd be looking to get the reward for that beast. In my breathing days, I made quite a bit of coin from the guild hall's quests. You look to be adventurers. Perhaps you should go there. Locations in Bloodrest and Oasis. You know, maybe I should write a Odysseys and Overlords story that focuses not on the characters in this game, like the player characters in this game, but that focuses on the former adventures of that skeleton and the old lady from town. Or a follow-up video game, you know. See, it's ever world building, I guess. And that was kind of to bring things back around to the raison d'être. That was kind of what brought Bizarre Kingdoms to the forefront, right? Being in a state of perpetual world building. Always trying to make sure that we are making the coolest, most fun environment for play, and providing as many options as possible to players and game masters to really make for a fun experience at the table. You know, at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. It's about making sure that you have cool tools, making sure that you have enough groundwork in what we are providing that you can easily build on that foundation and make something cool, unique, and fun for your player characters. And I think Bizarre Kingdoms really does nail that. There are new spells, or I guess I should say powers. There's new creatures introduced. There are some new like items, not just in terms of like magic items, but also in terms of like a crafting type source item. Lots of cool stuff. Do I have a method for improving the local economy to help out these down on their luck girls? The only economical plan that they have in the world of Chainmail Bikini is for Brandy the Red to go kill a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of gold, and then spend it back into the local economy. Probably in part by donating to these poor girls who are down on their luck. That is the closest we have to an economic plan in the world of Chainmail Bikini. Maybe that would be a good follow-up game, like a tactics style game where it's about you know, fixing the local economic woes. So we're gonna knock this sucker out. I'm fairly certain when I put Chainmail Bikini up for sale on Steam, we got flagged for nudity. Fairly certain the Flayed Menace is part of why we got flagged. Even though they're not nude, they just have their skin off. And then I'll show you, if we get there in the next 20 minutes or so, I'll show you the Vampire Queen, who also is kind of naked adjacent, I guess. I don't know that we'll make it that far in this stream, though. But yeah, that's part of why Chainmail Bikini is flagged for adults only. That is because of our barely clothed friends here. Also, good to see you, Hot Dog Wizard. Always a pleasure to have you aboard. So yeah, it's 11:42. We are slated to go live at noon with the Bizarre Kingdoms Kickstarter. If you have any questions about Bizarre Kingdoms, feel free to drop them in the chat, or about Odysseys and Overlords in general, or about any of the Aegis Studios games. Hell, I'll even answer some questions about some of the Onyx Path games I work on, to the best of my ability, in such a fashion whereas, Rich Thomas won't spontaneously manifest behind me and decapitate me in raw rage. I'm kidding. Rich is a very, very nice fellow who I don't think would ever decapitate anyone. Subvert expectations and make a game where the only combat is fighting for workers' rights and against wage disparity. That sounds actually like super cool. If I can figure out a way to code that, I will. That sounds super neat. So, a game that focuses on fighting for workers' rights and against wage disparity, particularly using the RPG Maker engine. I would actually be really interested to try to come up with a way to gamify it to those restrictions, right? One of the fun things. Oh, thank you. That's super cool of you to say. One of the fun things for me about game design is trying to find ways to make things like that maybe don't make sense together on first blush work very well. I often tout when you're talking about like tabletop game design that you want to make sure that the system that you are using enhances, works alongside with, is in lockstep with your setting. One of the things that wrecks my day is when a game's systems simply do not reflect the setting material as it's presented in the game. That's always, it destroys my immersion, it wrecks my day, and I'm a pretty lax person about that. Like we sit down around a table with some dice, I will suspend the shit out of my disbelief. But things where the system works against the story really take me out of it. However, I do think that there is a great deal of merit and virtue and fun to be had in designing spaces so that the system that you wouldn't think would work well, right, actually shines. And I think that is a fun design challenge. So maybe, maybe I'll work on a fight for your right to party game or something like that. So we are 15 minutes out, roughly, from launching the Kickstarter. Very excited about it. I'm obviously a little nervous, but, all we can do is put our best foot forward and get it out the gate. Oh no, there's a dead soldier. That sucks. Let's see. Since we got about 15 minutes left, I'm going to fight this one last group here, and then we're going to try to beeline for the Minotaur. But, launching a new Kickstarter is always daunting. It's always nerve-wracking. One of the good things, I guess, about the way that I'm doing the Kickstarter in terms of for the customer is that the book is done. Aside from entering any errata that comes out throughout the course of the Kickstarter, the basic writing and layout is all done. It's ready to go. I could put it up on Drive-Thru RPG, tomorrow, but this Kickstarter gives us an opportunity to build up hype for it, to get the word out about it, to make it into an event, and hopefully to recoup some of those costs. I put out a not small amount of money to pay the writers, make sure that everybody had, their work compensated for, and all of the authors on the book have a back end stake in it as well. A portion of everything that the book makes from here on out will go to the authors, and they did that in exchange for working for a slightly lower upfront fee, which is the way I like to do things, because I think the TTRPG business obviously is pretty small, and the margins that we operate on are pretty small. But if I can find a way to offset my initial costs a little bit and provide a lasting value to the people who are actually like doing the heavy lifting and doing the work that I'm hiring them for, that's the good stuff. So yeah, if you go over to the Kickstarter and you back Bizarre Kingdoms, not only are you helping pay for the cost of the book itself, but you're also helping put some extra money in the creators' pockets, which I would say is a pretty noble cause. So let's get at it. We got another dead soldier over there. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of corpses in this labyrinth. It's like there's a deadly monster wandering around down here. Let's see. So what else? We just had Onyx PathCon over the weekend, which if you're watching this either live or in VOD and you attended that, thank you so much for coming out and being part of the party. It was a good time. Oh no! Alright. We're stuck. I love doing that convention every year. Every year it gets a little bit more fun. We get a little bit more energy. We have some new, big, fun, cool thing to promote. This year, obviously, it was the Curseborn Ash Can and the Curseborn Actual Play. Now, I didn't have a chance to work on Curseborn in the game production side, but I did have a chance to do a lot of work on their the marketing campaign, the videos, and things like that. And that was super fun to work on. I have thoughts. It was a really good time. Yeah, so that was a very good con, but like being the genius that I am, I was like, oh, I'll launch my Kickstarter right after that convention. And I probably maybe shouldn't have done that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it all turns south, I'll let you know. Oh, Hot Dog Wizard's got another sometimes I just gotta, respond to somebody in chat because they have to turn off their sound. And I say thank you. Roughly, give or take. You're not missing much more. So. Yeah, let's go ahead and heal Andres. He's kind of beat up. One of the things I try to do. Oh, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it, Hot Dog Wizard. Alright, we're down to our last lizard folk. We're just gonna beat on them. We're just gonna throw them a boot party. Alright. We have taken the lizard folk out, and Brandy, Dolph, Nyasa, and Andres all leveled up, so I think that's a good time to save. Alright, we got 9 minutes till the Kickstarter is due to launch. Is that enough time to kill a Minotaur? We're killing the Minotaur in 9 minutes. The world may never know. No, that's how many looks to see to the center of it. That's the problem. Another slime in my way. Let's try out some of this new stuff we learned. Oh. Next round, Andre is going to need to take a magic potion. Fortunately, slimes are kind of the lowest denominator enemy in the game, so not too hard to whoop up on. The Minotaur, on the other hand, oh right, I just got done saying how you needed to drink some magic water. So yeah, in a lot of the areas, especially inside places, I kind of use slimes as my filler monster. All right, let's scrap up this Minotaur. Can we beat the Minotaur in 7 minutes? I bet we can't, but we'll try. No reason not to try. And Andres is going to try to stun lock the Minotaur. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it does not work. But yeah, folks, I am super excited to get this thing launched. I really cannot wait to get it out in the wild, hear what people think. I'm just excited, a little nervous, you know. Always is the case though with crowdfunding, and I would like to take the opportunity to say, if you have supported a previous crowdfunding campaign, one of mine or Onyx Path's, or really from anybody, you are doing a great service. You're helping create an environment in which folks are free to create, in which folks are able to maybe get projects that wouldn't normally be able to get out in front of an audience, out in front of that audience. It's really a neat thing. You know, when I first started making role-playing games, like, I think I published my first one in 2004. Jesus Christ, it's been 20 years. And I've really seen a wonderful change in the industry. You know, right when we started was like right when PDFs first started becoming a thing. I remember telling my business partner when we first launched Aegis Studios, you know, PDF seems kind of silly to me. Like, I don't think people are ever going to want that. At least not until we get a reader that they can use, right? Well, you know, now we have really good PDF readers, obviously, and to his credit, Darius was always very pro PDF. Always thought that was the way the future was going to be. I did not. I was wrong. Don't mind saying that in public. And yeah, here we are 20 years later with, you know, crowdfunding has changed the game as much as PDF changed the game, I think. Because it does allow games that would probably never see the light of day to get out there, find their audience, and get out in the world. Oh crap, Andres just got knocked TF out, and I don't know that I have a single... Nope, I have no way of resonant. So we're just gonna have to hope for the best. That's what I get for not paying attention to my fight. Oh no. So here's hoping we can waste him. Oh, that's real bad. We're about to lose, I think. Oh no. Tragedy strikes. Can Dolph hack it? No. That's all right. Hopefully, our defeat here was not a sign of defeats to come in the Kickstarter. Maybe getting publicly embarrassed by losing the game I designed. Will clear out all my negative karma and whatnot, and will instead allow me to have a victory over here at this Kickstarter. And while I'm thinking of it, why don't we go ahead and just hop over there? Yeah, take a look at it. We've got a whopping like 2 minutes left. Until we're due to launch. So let me just make sure we've got everything where it's supposed to be before I go sharing that publicly. And we're just going to toss that into our handy dandy overlay. All right, so here we are. We are down to the wire, folks. This is it. This is the last minute before we hit go live. So I would implore you, if you've been watching this live, if you're checking this out in the VOD, if you find this on the YouTubes, hit the Kickstarter for Bizarre Kingdoms for Savage Worlds. This Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition expansion will bring 4 new nations into your game, places you can either use in your Odysseys and Overlords campaign or drop into any Savage Worlds fantasy setting. Here we are, folks. It's noon. Let's do it. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, we know. Yes, we know. Yes, we know. Launch. We are out the door and the project is live. Woohoo! Yay! So, I would like to thank all of you who came in, hung out, spent a little time with me, gave me an excuse and a reason and an ability to bite off my last bit of nerves here as we got things ready to go. And yeah, I would implore you, if you've not yet done so, to head over, check out Bizarre Kingdoms over on Kickstarter. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat one more time. We are looking to get $3,000, 30 days for Bizarre Kingdoms, this expansion to Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition. I am super grateful for any help you can give in getting the word out, and I'm going to end this with our video, our Kickstarter video. So hang out. I've just thrown a link in chat. It is also up in the pinned comments. But please get out there, support it if you can, spread the word on all your social media, and hop in the comments over there and let me know what you think of Bizarre Kingdoms. And I'll see you all real soon. Thank you so much. The mortal lands are divided. A dozen kingdoms lie scattered across Pangaea, separated by dangerous wilds filled with bandits and monsters. The bravest mortals act as adventurers, guiding travelers between the kingdoms, killing monsters to thin their numbers, and plundering ruins in search of the lost treasures of the Golden Age. This is the world of Odysseys and Overlords. Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition brought this setting to the popular Savage Worlds Adventure Edition by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Now we are expanding the Odysseys and Overlords setting by introducing you to Bizarre Kingdoms. Bizarre Kingdoms is a setting expansion for Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition, though the lands and creatures introduced herein could easily be adapted to any Savage Worlds fantasy setting. In this book, you'll find 4 new kingdoms your adventurers can explore or even hail from. Bizarre Kingdoms provides not only setting information, but new rules, systems, creatures, and items drawn from these strange and distant lands. With this book, you can take your adventures beyond the continent of Pangaea and fully explore the world of Odysseys and Overlords. The book is written and laid out. We've got a beautiful cover by Dean Spencer, whose work continues to define the look of Odysseys and Overlords. We just need your help to get Bizarre Kingdoms out to as many people as possible. We feel that the best platform to do that is Kickstarter. To provide a smooth and easy fulfillment experience, books and add-ons for this Kickstarter will be fulfilled through DriveThruRPG. Aside from Bizarre Kingdoms, we are offering several add-ons you can pick up as a part of your pledge to support this Kickstarter. Backers will have an opportunity to pick up the Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition core book, several supplements, and additional POD and PDF materials for our other Savage Worlds game lines like Contagion Savage Adventures and Citizens Divided. If we successfully fund, we have a few stretch goals in mind which we'll share should we reach that point. This campaign could provide opportunities to further expand the setting if the funds are there. We hope you'll join us in our journey to bring this book to you and to the world. Bizarre Kingdoms is a supplement for Odysseys and Overlords 2nd Edition using the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition rules and the Suede Fantasy Companion. Please consider lending your support in helping us make it happen for Bizarre Kingdoms by backing this Kickstarter.